place I worked, I made sure that I was a leader to my juniors.
Okay, so for example, today, 7 out of the top 10 richest people in the world are in technology. 6 out of the top 10 most valuable brands in the world are technological brands.
If you sit down and don't do anything, wishful thinking without action, it's not a trait of personal development, and there's no transformation that is going to come out of it.
Look, website costs you money, landing page makes you money.
And if you're a lawyer or a law student, you will understand this thing. For us lawyers, we have this thing we call seniority at the bar. So even if I was called a day before you, I'm considered your senior. So you have to give me some level of respect. But for me, because now I understand that leadership is influence, right? And I needed to influence those young lawyers to be able to get them to achieve the desired results, I started practicing leadership. And because I did not want them to experience the same challenges I had, I started modeling what I wanted them to experience. And this is what happened. When I started modeling it and I started putting myself out there to them as a leader and a mentor, I started seeing results. I saw that those things that took me 5 years to learn, those things that took me maybe 2-3 years to discover, took them shorter time. So in effect, I kind of like reduced their learning curve because I provided leadership.
And one of the major characteristics of this age is that communication technology is prominent. Communication is the chief form of technology, just like what we are doing right now in this conference. Communication technology is what has enhanced our ability to collaborate. This transformation tribe is a tribe of people that is located all over the world. People in Europe, people in North America, people in Africa, all collaborating. And I believe that in the audience tonight are people from different parts of the world. And it is because of technology that we are going global this evening. So technology defines eras. Technology creates and transforms opportunity. Technology changes the ideas that we have about what it means to work and to earn money and to relate and to live life.
You see this thing, your mobile phone, you don't know how powerful it is. You don't know how powerful it is. As soon as you get an idea in your head, if you are in the middle of the road or in the middle of something, just go on your phone, email it to yourself. Email it to yourself, no matter how sketchy it is. Email it to yourself. When you are, rested much later and, you're in front of your laptop or you have your notes with you, then you can build on that, snippet of idea that popped in your head at the time.
People ask me sometimes, they say, hey, Dan, what's the difference between landing page, and website and sales funnels and Instagram buyer and all that? I think I have a website, I don't need a landing page. Or perhaps since I have a landing page, I don't need a website. Now, I'll make this differentiation very clear to you. The first thing you need to know is this. Look, website costs you money, landing page makes you money. So a website is a corporate identity for your brand. This is where they go to, they see about us, your home, your contact us, your gallery, our team, etc. But the landing page doesn't have any of that. A landing page is a salesman on the internet. So you need both a website to represent your corporate brand, and you also need a landing page. So it's like saying, because I'm on Facebook, I don't need to be on Instagram. Or because I'm on Instagram, I don't need to have WhatsApp. No. As a brand, you need to use platforms that are critical, right, for your existence. You need to use a platform that are critical for your brand growth.
Transformation Summit 2021. Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021.
Hello and welcome to the Transformation Summit, Day 2. My name is Daniel Foley, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Day 2 of this conference. I'm sure you guys have seen the recap from Day 1, right? And you can see how Day 1 was fantastic and was really insightful. Okay, and today, the final day of the summit for 2021, brought to you by Transformers Tribe. We're going to be having some fantastic speakers today. We're going to be having Seyi Agbede. We're going to be having Mise. We're going to be having Emeka Ebeniro. We're also going to be having the master himself, Jimi Tewe, right? And the essence of this summit is to ensure that you can emerge, because we're in a critical time in the world, in a critical time where every individual needs to take responsibility of what they're doing. And once you do that, you need to plot your emergence. And why are we here? To learn strategies to ensure that you can emerge, right, and grow exponentially in your career and in whatever you do. And so, without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to be bringing in the next speaker for today.
Olabukonla Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021. Seyi Agbede. Seyi Agbede is a statistician by qualification and has evolved into a resourceful educator. As a lifelong learner, he has and always been passionate about professional development, and this has led him to become a regular trainer, facilitator in several capacities, including educational conferences such as the annual Middle Hall Edu Camp held in Lagos and Port Harcourt. He has also served as human capacity development consultant with several educational institutes and has influenced lives of many locally and internationally with many initiatives such as the Impact Educators Virtual Conferences, 100 Seconds with SA, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Seyi Agbede.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends on what part of the world that you're joining us from. My name is Seyi Agbede, and I have the privilege and the opportunity to torment you with my face for the next couple of minutes, about 20 minutes thereabout. So tonight, I'll be talking to you about positioning for leadership in a global economy. Positioning for leadership in a global economy. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you a question. Are you a matchstick or a candlestick? Are you a matchstick or a candlestick? Now, before you go ahead to give me an answer, let me give you some background to that question. Now, what is a matchstick? A matchstick ignites very, very quickly. I mean, it comes close to fire and it's ignited as quickly as possible. However, as quickly as it is ignited, it gets extinguished. Okay? On the other hand, the candlestick, it may not ignite as quickly as the matchstick. However, it burns much longer than the matchstick. Now, how does this relate to us? There are some people here, some people that maybe they attended the first day of the summit and they're here as well. Now, everything that is being said, yeah, they're on fire, they are ignited. Oh, yes, I mean, you're speaking. In fact, there are those people in church, the pastor is the one preaching, and oh, pastor, preach it. However, as soon as the summit is over, everything we have said goes down the drain. However, the candlesticks, once they are ignited, long after the summit is gone, that fire is still burning. So one more time, I'm going to ask you the question, and I'd like you to give me some answers in the comment section. Are you a matchstick or a candlestick? Now, whatever answer you give me right now really isn't very important. What is important is at the end of the summit, much after the summit is over, we're going to see how you react to all the things that we have talked about. So going to what I'm talking about with is positioning for leadership in a global economy. There are certain things that you have to do to be able to position yourself. The first thing I'll talk about is what you call impact. All right. You need to be able to make an impact in the lives and with the people that you come across every day of your lives. Now, there's someone I respect very much. His name is Mr. Fela Durotoye, and he has a 10 number creed that talks about a number of things. And number 3 on that creed, he says, make a positive impact on everyone I meet and everywhere I go. As a business, as a person, wherever it is in your family, make sure wherever you go, whoever it is you meet, you make a positive impact in their lives. In your business, in your career, that's what in the business world we call the experience, the customer experience. When they have an impact, when they come in contact with you, the kind of impact you make in their lives is very, very key. So that's key number 1, which is impact. Now, when you make impact, what that is going to cause is that you're going to have influence over them. Now, let me explain what I'm talking about. Now, let's say, for example, I'm a business owner. I sell cupcakes for a living. Now, when I make an impact, so someone comes in contact with my cupcake, they tasted the cupcake for the first time. Oh, they looked, oh, this is really tasty. It really looks nice. And maybe the way I packaged it, it looked really beautiful, or maybe the way I delivered it and all of that. That is impact. I have made an impact in the person's life. Now, the next time the person wants to buy cupcakes, they probably would remember the impact, the impression they had when they came in contact with my own cupcakes, and they would want to buy my cupcakes. What that means is my impact is now influencing them to purchase from me. So once you make impact, the next thing is influence. Now, talking about influence, there are different stages, different levels of influence, and I'm going to categorize them into four levels of influence. The first level of influence is what I call the local influence. What is the local influence? That means, so for example, I talked about cupcakes. I sell cupcakes maybe in Ibadan, in Oyo State. Now, the people in my environment, the people on my streets, the people in my church, the people in my office, those are the people that I have influence over. So that is what you call a local influence. Now, the next stage of influence is what we call an international influence. Now, at that level, you are beginning to cross borders. Okay, so you probably have offices or stations in different parts of the world. You are beginning to service people in the international community. However, the people that you are servicing in the international community are people from your locality that are in the international community. Let me explain what I'm talking about. We have a number of banks, for example, Nigerian banks that say they have some branches in other parts of the world, like in the UK, in London, and all of that. So, but you would realize that 80 to 90% of the people that patronize those Nigerian banks in the UK are Nigerians that are living in the UK. So what that means is they have an international influence because they are servicing their local population in the international community. The next level of influence is what we now call the global influence. At that level, the people that are patronizing your products or that you have influence over in the international community are essentially not from your locality. Let me give an example as well. Take Toyota as a brand. Toyota as a car manufacturer is a Japanese brand. How many people use Toyota in Nigeria? If you take the statistics of those that use Toyota in Nigeria, 80 to 90% of them are not Japanese. They are probably Nigerians. So what that means is they have a global influence. Despite the fact that it's a Japanese brand, their influence in Nigeria is such that most people that patronize their business in Nigeria are Nigerians and not from their locality. That is a global influence. However, there's one more level of influence, and that is what I call the local influence. In that stage, you do not have any international office. You are operating from your locality. However, you have a global influence. So I am operating, I'm selling my cupcakes from Oluyole, Ibadan. But people in Canada are purchasing my cupcakes at alarming rates. That is a local influence. So I don't know what level of influence it is that you want to get into. So I've talked about the 4 levels. You have the local, the international, the global, and the local influence. So those are the 4 levels of influence that I'll be talking about today. Now, there's a father of leadership that I enjoy very much. His name is Mr. John Maxwell. We all know him, all right? And he defines leadership as very, very simple. He says leadership is influence. So what that means is the influence we are talking about, once you can influence someone to either purchase your goods or to do certain things, you are leading that person. So if you want to lead in this global economy, like I said, once you have the impact will help you to influence them. And that's the leadership that we're talking about. Now, there are certain things you need to do that can help you scale up your level of leadership. And I call that your individual competitiveness. Your individual competitiveness. Now, I'm a statistician, so I like to use a lot of formulas to do a lot of things. Now, there are 4 variables that are critical to determine your individual competitiveness. The first thing is what you know. What you know plus how you express what you know. That's the second variable. Now, you multiply that by who you know and who knows you. So those are the 4 variables that would determine your individual competitiveness. Now, let me try and break that down within the next couple of minutes that we have together. Now, the first part talks about what you know and then how you express what you know. Now, what you know is divided into 2 levels. 2 levels of what you know. The first level is what you know about yourself, your knowledge of you, your temperament, your behaviors, your personalities, your ikigai, for those that know what that means. All of those things are talking about you. So what is the knowledge of yourself that you have? Your strengths, your weaknesses, all of those talk about you. So that's your knowledge of you. The second part of what you know is your knowledge of yours. What you know about your environment, your career comes in there. Every other thing that you know about your environment, all of those come in there. So that's the first part of the equation, which is what you know. Now, you add that to the second part of the equation, which is how you express what you know. I may know a lot of things. However, if I cannot express it in the right way, it dies there. It doesn't make an impact. Remember, we're talking about how to make an impact. So how do you express what you know? There are certain things that get to determine that, but I like to call them the critical C's. I will talk about just 3 of them because of our time. So what are the critical C's? The first one is communication. Communication is key. Imagine I sat in front of you today and I was speaking to you in Russian language. As impressive, as fantastic as what I have to say might be, if you do not understand what I am saying, it's a waste of time. So the first part, which is what you know, is largely dependent on how you get to communicate this. So as a brand, how are you communicating to your customers? As a person, how are you communicating to your customers? That's the first thing we're talking about. Now, the second C is what I call creativity. The world is looking for people that are innovative, not people that are stereotyped and do the same thing the same way it used to be. Now, a man called Mark Zuckerberg woke up one day and he decided to be creative about how people get to connect and interact with each other. Today, he's one of the richest guys in the world. A couple of days ago, his business shut down for 6
Translation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021.
All right, so like I was talking about, so Mark Zuckerberg, his business shut down for just 6 hours and the whole world went into frenzy. So you need to be creative to make an impact, that kind of impact. Now, the third C that I'll look at is what I call courage. You need to be able to be courageous to be able to make certain decisions in such a time as this. Now, so those are the 3 C's that make up the first part of the equation. Now, the second part of the equation talks about who you know. Now, we have said that your net worth is determined by your network. I'll say that again. Your network, how worth you are, your worth as a person is largely determined by your network. Now, so as long as you're going on this journey of life, you need to ensure that you maximize the power of relationships. The power of relationships, it is very, very key. I don't have time to dig into all of that. Now, the final part of that equation talks about who knows you. Okay, yes, I know everybody. I know Dangote. I know Mike Aremu. I know all of them. Do they know me? What is my visibility quotient? You have a business. Who are the people that are exposed to your business? Yesterday, Mr. Daniel talked to us about advertising and all of that. You need to be able to be in the faces of the people. That is how they will get to know you. That's the visibility that we're talking about. So we've talked about the individual competitiveness. We've talked about what you know, how you express what you know, but multiplied by who you know, and then who knows you. Now, the first part, which is what you know and how you express what you know, gives you what I call arithmetic progression, which means if your influence was one person, you move to 2 people. From 2 people, you can move to 3 people, 4 people, and all of that. However, by the time you implement the second part, which is who you know and who knows you, you begin to experience the geometric influence. So your influence goes from 1 person to 100 people to 1,000 people, and so on and so forth. Now, so we have talked about how you need to make impact. When you make impact, you have influence. And we've talked about the 4 levels of influence, and that gives you leadership. And what you can do to quickly scale up your level of leadership is what I call the individual competitiveness. And I've looked at the areas of the individual competitiveness. Now, when you have impact and your impact makes influence, automatically, once you apply your individual competitiveness, something is going to come along with it. And I'm sure a lot of us will want to hear that. And that is what? Income. When all of these things are in place, the income begins to come in. So, talking about income very briefly, I'll just talk about the 3 M's of income. The first is make money. Whatever it is that you're doing, ensure that you're doing something and you're making money. Don't sit back and be waiting for that white collar job. Don't sit back and be thinking, oh, until that person gives you that. No, whatever it is that you're doing, ensure you're making money. That's the first M that I'm going to talk about. The second M I'll talk about is when you make this money, ensure you manage it. So the second M is manage. Manage this money carefully. Ensure that you are very prudent. That's where your budgeting comes in, your financial prudence and all of that, that comes in there. And then the last M I'll talk about is multiply. So the first M is you make it, then you manage it, and then lastly, you multiply the money. Now, I heard of a quote very many years ago, and it has stuck with me in almost everything that I do. It says, spend less than you earn, save what you don't spend, and invest what you save. And you'll never be broke again for the rest of your life. So what does that mean? I earn 100 naira for a living, for example. Take, for example, I don't earn that, but I mean, just take, for example, I earn 100 naira, okay? I should spend less than I'm earning. So I'm spending probably the 100 naira I'm spending. And then I get to save the 20 naira I spend. If I do that consistently for 6 months, at the end of 6 months, I would have saved 120 naira. Now, that 120 naira I have saved, the next step is to invest it. So like I said, spend less than you earn, save what you don't spend, and then invest what you save. And you would never be broke again for the rest of your life. So what have I been talking about for the past couple of minutes? I started off by talking about impact. For you to be able to position yourself for leadership in this local economy we're talking about impact. You need to be able to make positive impact on everyone you meet and everywhere you go. As a brand, as a business, in your family, in relationships, you need to be able to focus on impact. Now, when you have impact, automatically your impact will create influence for you. You can begin to influence people to either patronize your products or influence people to do things that you want them to do. And then remember, we looked at the 4 levels of influence. We looked at the local influence, we looked at the international influence, we looked at the global influence, and we looked at the local influence. So those are the 4 levels of influence. And remember, I talked about it. Like John Maxwell says, influence is leadership. Leadership is simply influence. So if I can influence you to do certain things, I am leading you to do certain things. And then we talked about how you can scale up your level of leadership as quickly as possible, which is your individual competitiveness. And I talked about the 4 variables that would help you to achieve that individual competitiveness. The first one is what you know. The second is how you express what you know. So that's what you know plus how you express what you know, multiplied by who you know, added to who knows you. And if you do all of that together, you will get the final I, which is income. I've talked about the 3 M's of income as well. Make money, manage money, and multiply money. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you position yourself for leadership in a local economy.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Seyi Agbede. Thank you for that amazing presentation. You have taken us to school. You've shown us the importance of how we can emerge in this world, how we can manage, multiply our money, how we can influence people, and how also we can impact the world. Thank you so much. Guys, it's obvious that Seyi Agbede is an educator. You saw how he was able to put his points together and share it with you in a lovely but storytelling manner. Seyi, thank you so much. Seyi, before we let you go, any last words before we let you go?
Well, what I'll just say is we've talked about how to emerge in this economy. Remember, I started off with, are you a matchstick or a candlestick?
Yeah.
A number of things have been said today. A number of things will still be said today. Take all of these things. What matters is how we get to utilize these things after now. Take all of these things and run with them. Light yourself up as a candlestick and continue to burn. Go back into your community, go back into your neighborhood, and go and light up everybody there. And together, we will all stand together as one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Seyi. Once again, thank you so much. We thoroughly enjoyed your session. Thank you. We look forward to having another session with you, possibly in the master class. Thank you so much, Seyi. Guys, you are watching the Transformation Summit 2021, and the theme is Emerge. We'll be going on a short break. When we come back, guys, we're going right to our next speaker. Please do not forget that all the questions you have will be answered at the end of the session. Please stay to the end because we have our coach, our mentor, Jimi Tewe. He's going to be here live and direct at the Transformation Summit 2021. We'll be back after this short break.
Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021.
Olabukonla Mise. Olabukonla is the lead consultant at CX One Stop, a company that offers customer experience management training and consulting services to small businesses. Ola is passionate about people development and believes that with the right mindset, information, support, and coaching, anybody, irrespective of their background and circumstances, can thrive. This conviction led her to create the successful newcomer community, a newcomer immigrant in Canada who are interested in owning less traveled part of entrepreneurship and access resources, timely information, and grant opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Olabukonla Mise.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Once again, my name is Olabukonla Mise. You can call me Ola. So I'll start with a story. In 2018 December, I left my banking job to pursue my passion to make an impact and just to rediscover myself. I'd been in the banking industry for about over 7 years at that point, and I felt like I had lost myself, so I wanted to rediscover myself. So when I left my job in 2019 January, I decided to go into the training business because I love to impart knowledge. So I decided I was going to start training. However, I knew that was going to take a while. It's an industry that requires trust. It's an industry that requires people getting to know me and knowing what I can actually do. So I decided to do to have a stopgap measure. So I learned perfumery and started to sell perfumes. I put the perfumes up on WhatsApp, and you would not believe what happened. I started getting calls and messages and emails, just all sorts of messages from my former clients and colleagues asking to buy the perfumes. Sometimes I would even ask them, would you like me to send you a sample just so you can, smell and be sure of what you're buying? You know the kind of responses they were giving me. They were saying things like, oh, is it not you? Don't worry, just send me the products, right? And they even began to tell other people about the product. And that's how my perfumery business kicked off in Nigeria within the first month that I launched the business.
So what's the essence of this story? Today, I'm going to be talking to you about emerging in life through relationship building and excellent customer experience, right? And I already mentioned to you that the people who were buying from me were the people who were my clients and my former colleagues while I was in the bank, right? So that tells you something, right? Even though I had left the bank, the relationship I was able to establish while I was there helped me to launch my business. And I tell you, in the 6 months before I was able to successfully launch my training business, that business served me and served my needs, right? I was getting clients, consistently, right? And I would like to tell you today that it shows the power of customer experience on relationship building. Usually when we talk about customer experience, we feel like it's all about businesses, businesses, you have excellent customer experience and things like that. Or if you're an employee, you should help your organization, have excellent customer experience. The meaning of customer experience is like the aggregate of all the experiences that people have with you in all of their interactions with you through every channel. So from that definition, you should know that it's not only about businesses. Even as an individual, there's some level of customer experience going on. Either you acknowledge it or not. You don't even have to acknowledge it. There's something happening with your customer experience, either you like it or not, right? And the thing is, as an individual, there are stakeholders you have in your life, right? You have people who, your colleagues, you have your customers, you have your family members, you have the people you're in a relationship with. And then as a business, you have your customers, you have your employees, you have your vendors, you have all these people around you. You have to be able to develop a solid relationship with these people so you can emerge, right? And your relationships determine the quality of your network. And the quality of your network, as Seyi already mentioned, determines your net worth, right? It's not just a statement. It's something that has been established. And from the story I told from the beginning, you would see that it's actually true, right? It's simple, right? And the world is evolving. I don't want you to feel like emergence is a destination. It's a journey, and you keep moving. As you keep moving, what worked for you yesterday might not work for you today. That's why it has to be on a consistent journey of emergence. And then the world is now so small. Why do you need to emerge? The world is now so small. The services that you think you're offering, that special service you think you're offering, that special skill you think you have. If you were here yesterday, I didn't mention this, that you might think you're very good at something, and then you're supposed to get an opportunity by default. Somebody maybe like hours away from you or thousands of miles away from you already probably has that information and is able to get that opportunity, right? So it is important for you to consciously develop relationships. So today I'll be sharing 7 things you need to do to help you develop solid relationships and excellent customer experience. The first thing is being intentional. You have to be intentional about it. You don't just freestyle things. You have to be intentional about consistently creating a positive experience with everyone that comes in contact with you. And I need you to also know that it's not about you only when they come to you. Every material you churn out as an individual, every channel of communication and interaction you have with your clients as a business, the emails you send, the letters you write, the quality of your communication, your product, everything that comes out of you has to have a level of excellence. And that helps you to develop a solid relationship with people who come in contact with those things, right? It's about being intentional. The next thing is for you to define your metrics, right? You have to define your target market and the target profile of the people you want to be dealing with, right? So when you define your target markets for businesses, I know you hear this a lot, and it's surprising that a lot of businesses still haven't done it, right? So the first thing you have to do is to define the demographics, define the geographics, define the psychographics, the things that they think about, the things that they like, the things that they want to do, and then the behavioral, what are the things that they actually do, right? And this is very similar to what you would do as an individual to define the kind of people you want to deal with, the kind of thinking, the mindset that they have, so that when you come in contact with these people, you will easily identify them and know the amount of effort you should put into that relationship, right? The third thing you should do is to identify your value and be clear on your value proposition. I love how Seyi talked about knowing yourself, right? So one thing that people just don't really do a lot, which I'll tell you to do, is to do your personal SWOT analysis. For the purpose of this conversation, we are focusing only on the strengths and the weaknesses, right? Identify your strengths and weaknesses. It seems like a very mundane task, but trust me, when you do it, it helps you to single yourself out, to position yourself for opportunities, right? Because when you know your strengths, it will be so easy for you to talk about it. I'm sure it's common knowledge that now, one of the most difficult questions, one of the most difficult interview questions is tell me about your strengths or tell me about your weaknesses. And I find that so funny. Why haven't you done your SWOT analysis? It's not only for organizations. As an individual, write down your strengths and your weaknesses. Know them, look them in the eye, and identify them so that you can know how to amplify your strengths and then work on your weaknesses to improve them, right? And then you can bring those strengths into any relationship that you have with people so that you can use it to add value to them. And that takes me to the fourth point that I have for you, which is to communicate your value consistently, right? Yesterday, if you were here yesterday, Daniel talked about how you have to communicate your value, your offer. You have to show what you have, right? And let me mention to you here that it's not enough for you to know people. And it's not enough for people to know you. Seyi also mentioned that, who knows you? Beyond who knows you, who knows what you have to offer? Because I can know somebody and not know what they have to offer. I wouldn't be able to speak for that person. Let's say, for example, Coach BSO is a leadership coach, a youth coach, and things like that. Imagine I just know her. She posts her pictures on social media and she's always looking very beautiful. And I'm like, oh, I like this woman. And then somebody comes to me and says, do you know anybody who is a leadership coach or a youth coach? If she has not communicated that, there's no way I'll be able to speak for her. And remember, it was said yesterday that people have to come in contact with you, with your brand, like 5 to 7 times for them to be able to remember you, right? So you have to communicate that value so people can talk about it, right? You have to consciously position yourself in the conscious mind of your target audience. So your name will be at the forefront when opportunities come up. That's one thing you need to think about. Right. And the next thing now I'll mention to you is to seek to serve, not just sell. Right. Yesterday, we talked about volunteering. Omo talked about volunteering. Volunteering is key. And then service begets loyalty. Relationships are nothing without loyalty. If you think you're in a relationship with someone or you have a relationship with a friend or family, whoever it is, if that person is not loyal to you, forget it. They won't mention your name where opportunities are. And of course, that really wouldn't help you in any way. They will mention your brand, your businesses. Your business when people are asking for referrals. So you have to seek to serve. When you serve, you build loyalty. People become loyal to you, and you even develop your influence, and it helps people to become loyal to you, right? And it helps with your relationship, the relationship that you're able to build, right? And the sixth thing I will share with you today is to seek, embrace, and act on feedback. It is very easy for you to sit in your room and think, oh, I'm doing so well, I'm fantastic, and all of those things, right? But then if you don't ask people around you to know, at least hear from them, hear what they think of you, right? It's not going to help you because you're probably doing something wrong and you don't know, right? Nobody's an island, right? So, and your feedback should be a 360-degree feedback. Ask from people above you, ask from your peers, and ask from people beneath you. So the kind of feedback that they give you would really help you, to know the next steps that you would take, right? And then if you have done your SWOT analysis, it's going to help you to know, okay, this feedback that I'm getting now, it might not really shock you. Because you're not saying things like, oh, they're just against me. I know that a lot of people don't like feedback. I've seen it a lot. People don't like feedback. They don't want to be told. But trust me, if you don't take feedback, you cannot get better. If you don't take feedback, you cannot get better. The other thing about feedback is that feedback is not always negative, right? There are times when you just feel like, okay, I'm good at this thing. Okay, let me give you a funny example. All those people that come to Project Fame, right? All those funny Project Fame videos where somebody will just be singing and you're like, how did you even get here? Didn't your family members tell you that you cannot sing, right? So people like that are the people who did not take feedback or did not even ask for feedback. Or their family members know that they can't sing, but they know that when they give them the feedback, they will start crying or they will be upset, right? And they now decided to carry their weakness and then they amplified it and showed it for the world to see. Right, so you can save yourself from that if you take feedback. So remember, I didn't just say seek feedback. I said seek feedback, embrace feedback, and act on feedback. There's a statement now that I hear a lot now that people say, you are enough, you are you are this and you are that. I completely agree. You are enough, you are perfect, you are fantastic the way you are. However, you always need to seek and work towards excellence. Nobody raw. Look at the diamond. The diamond doesn't come out as a diamond. It doesn't. It needs a lot of work and fine-tuning and sharpening and cleaning and all of those things for it to emerge as a diamond. Right? So if you continue to sit down on your high horse and think, oh, I'm perfect. Nobody's saying you're not perfect, but everybody needs work. We're all work in progress. So when you take this feedback and embrace it and act on it, it helps you to bring out the diamond in you. Right? The seventh thing I would share with you, why do I keep saying this? The seventh thing I will share with you is do not hesitate to prune your network. Right? See, if you are in the company of the wrong people, it will draw you back. Right? Even as a business, if you are serving the wrong set of customers, it will draw you back. Your business just will not grow. You continue to ask yourself, I'm working so hard and I'm not making anything. Nothing is happening. I'm always so tired, yet I don't have anything to show for it, right? So do not hesitate to prune your network, right? Your network needs constant review. And I also need you to understand that the relationship that brought you here might not necessarily take you there. So at every point in time, you have to be able to review your network. Look around you. Look at the people you are moving around. Are they the people you really want to be seen with? And remember, you would have defined your target market. You'd have defined your target profile, right? So if you have done that and you are now looking around, and the other thing I want to mention to you is that these things are not forever. They are not cast in stone. It's not something that you will do now and you won't do again forever. Ever again. It's a constant journey. And remember, I also mentioned that emergence is a journey. So it's something that will keep going and going. You have to keep doing these things over and over again, so you can keep getting better. So for this stage of your life, you need a specific set of people in your life. That's fantastic. When you move to the next stage, you need to review your network again. Okay, these people, how can I bring them with me? Who is refusing to be brought along? If this person doesn't want to be brought along, do I need to prune this person and things like that? And as a business too, once you establish your business, I feel like sometimes the reason a lot of businesses don't want to define their target market is because they feel like I'm denying myself of a lot of other opportunities. No, you're not. Because guess what? You can evolve. Your target market can evolve. Today, you are serving this segment of people. If you do a review of your business in a few years or a few months, and you're like, okay, my business has grown, my business has expanded, or I am getting more from this set of people, then you can review your target market again and say, okay, I want to be serving this set of people again, right? And then these are the people I want to drop. However, do not burn bridges. Do not burn bridges. I'm saying don't be scared, don't hesitate to prune your network and your customers, but do not burn bridges. So let me give you an example. My husband recently wanted to do a deal with someone to shoot a video and things like that. They had a conversation and it just didn't work out. The person wasn't willing to pay the amount that my husband was charging, and my husband said, "I'm sorry, I cannot bring down my fees, and I'm just gonna, not do business with you." So he sent him a message and said, hello, I'm sorry I'm not able to, adjust my fees like you want me to, but I'm certain that we might be able to work something out in future. So now he has told that customer that he's not going to do business with him at that point in time. But then he left the door open for future opportunities. The customer can't go now and say, oh, that guy is, he doesn't want to do business with me. Do you understand? So you have to not hesitate to prune your network. However, do not burn bridges. Also, I want to also mention to you that it's not enough to establish relationships. You can establish relationships. Fantastic. We are all establishing relationships every day. If you go on LinkedIn now, I'm sure you probably have like 1,000 or thousands of connections. Are you deliberately nurturing those relationships? Are you intentionally nurturing those relationships? You have to be specific about it. You have to be deliberate about it. And as a business, I also want to mention to you, if you're a business owner, you must have a budget for it. Because businesses, I've seen that businesses now, they struggle a lot. They have issues with clients, with products, with customers. But then, they feel like, oh, I can't do anything. It's going to cost me money. The reason you think it's going to cost you money and you're not willing to spend that money is because you don't have a budget for it. If you had a budget for it, if you had budgeted for relationship building and customer experience, it's a budget. Yes, it's legit. Because that's what your business is based on. So if you set a budget for it, it's going to help you to be able to, okay, say this is the amount of money I can spend on this thing, this activity every month. And it helps you to direct your steps and do the right thing. So today I've talked to you about 7 things you need to do to be able to build excellent relationships and consistently serve your customers excellently. The first thing is to be intentional. The second thing is to define your metrics. The third thing is to identify your value and be clear on your value proposition. Don't leave people wondering what you can do for them. Don't leave people thinking, oh, what can I do? What does she do? What can she offer me? The third thing is for you the fourth thing is to communicate your value consistently. The fifth thing is to seek to serve and not just sell. The sixth thing is to seek, embrace, and act on feedback. The seventh thing is that you should not hesitate to prune your network or your customers. However, do not burn bridges. That is extremely important. And I'll leave you with this once again. It's not enough for you to establish relationships. You have to nurture the relationships. It's not enough for people to know you. They have to know what you have to offer. The other thing I would like you to also note is that you must deliberately, consciously, and consistently position yourself in the consciousness of your customers, your stakeholders, the people you want to develop a relationship with, so that your name will come up in their mind when there are opportunities. So that your name can come up in their mind when there are opportunities. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of this conference.
Thank you so much, Ola. That was amazing. We thoroughly enjoyed that. I love the part that you said, do not burn bridges. Yes, we might not be able to do business now, but definitely we can do business in the future. Ola, thank you so much for everything that you have shared. You have taken us to school. You and Seyi Agbede, are you sure you're not an educator as well? Because both of you have broken down your point. You gave us 9 powerful points on how we can build relationships and emerge in this VUCA world, like Coach BSO said. But Ola, before you go, are there any last word, advice, or hacks that you like to give us before we let you go?
Okay, so the most important thing I would like to share is that we are all work in progress. No one is perfect. So do not hesitate to keep working on yourself. Do not hesitate to keep working on your relationships. And if the relationship is not working for you, prune that relationship, cut it off, move on, but do not burn bridges. The person that made you sad yesterday can still make you happy today or tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ola. Thank you so much. We're definitely looking forward to having more sessions with you at the masterclass. Thank you so much, Ola. Hi, guys. So, guys, we are still at the Transformation Summit 2021. If you're just joining, you've not missed a lot. Actually, you've missed like 2 sessions, but not to worry. You can watch the replay on our YouTube channel. It is at Transformers Tribe. So search Transformers Tribe on YouTube. You would find it. You can watch day 1 and day 2. Don't forget, in day 1, we had Daniel Foley, we had Omo, we had Coach BSO, and we had Edidiong Effiong, the systems expert. Today, day 2, we started the conference with Seyi Agbede, giving us ways that we can leverage and position ourselves. Then we moved on to Ola. Ola just told us how we can use relationship and also develop our customer experience to emerge in life, business, and career. So, guys, we have 2 speakers left. Jimi Tewe will be wrapping up this conference. So don't move, guys. Stay till the end because it is getting hotter. We're going on a short break. When we come back, we have the speaker that they call Fire, Fire, Fire. If you know, you know. We're going on this short break. When we come back, Fire Emeka will be having his session.
Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021. Emeka Ebeniro. Emeka Ebeniro is a business and brand consultant, personal branding and transformation coach, motivational speaker, and exceptional content creator. He is an activator, igniting the potential and gifts in people so that they can do more and be more. He is a certified integrated marketing communications professional and business consultant with over 13 years experience in brand management, corporate communication, and organizational strategy. Emeka has trained over 500 coaches, leaders, and creators across 5 continents, helping them build powerful, profitable brands for more influence, impact, and income. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Emeka Ebeniro.
Yes, welcome everyone. Yes, my name is Emeka Ebeniro, also known as Fire Emeka, because I'm the fire speaker and your personal brand fixer. I'd like to welcome you once again to the Transformation Summit 2021. You haven't missed a lot, but trust me, it is getting hotter and it's getting better as we move along. So now you heard my story, you read my profile, and you know that I've spent over 13 years in marketing communication, helping businesses and brand build. And one thing I do and I'm most passionate about is I help people build profitable brands. Most likely, I can say, build brand authority and move you from passion to profit. In my journey, I have realized that you would always miss what your eyes are not trained to see. I repeat, you would always miss what you are not trained to see. And it's not because that you're not intelligent. It is not because that you don't have the right skill set or you don't want it, but it's simply because you have not seen it. It has not been brought to your consciousness. You are not aware of these things. A few years ago, as a young advertising executive, I was passionate about being the best possible. I wanted to rise in my career. I wanted to be, like the bosses. I enjoyed what they did. They drove big cars. They were respected in the industry and even by the clients. And that was my dream. And in following and pursuing that dream relentlessly, I knew I was tired of my current position at my previous agency, and I wanted more. In searching for more, I applied to several agencies, mostly for the pay, but also to rise, because I realized that once you move from one agency to the other, your pay gets better. But when you stay in one company and one agency, you don't really get that pay. You don't get that promotion as much as you want it. And you know how it is. You know how it is, right? So I decided to, I started my journey. I moved quickly. And what did I do? I got a new job at this agency. And in this agency, I was privileged to work with one of my coaches, my mentors, should I call him a big brother? His name is Uche Ugoji. And what did Uche do? Uche helped me develop myself. Now, one thing I realized in my relationship with Uche as we went along was, Uche took me under his wings, as you know it, and I kept studying Uche and every move that he made. He was open to tell me and share with me the things that he was doing. And what was he doing? Uche was simply planning his life so that his tomorrow will be better than today. Today, I'll be sharing with you on how you can position yourself for global relevance. I repeat, how you can position yourself for global relevance. So talking about Uche and the things that Uche was doing, I realized that it's not enough for you to have skill. It's not enough for you to have desire. It is not enough for you to be hungry. You need to also learn how to position yourself
and how to map out strategies that will take you to your next level. And rightly said, in this summit, we have put together so many things that would help you develop the right strategies that will take you to your desired position. Still talking about Uche and our journey. Uche exposed me to certain plans. One was, the first thing Uche did, amongst several other things, was he told me, Emeka, see, I'm applying to another school. I'm applying to a school rather, where I'm going to get a certification. I will travel outside the country. When I come back, I'm already speaking to the owner of the company. I'm resubmitting my CV now with a higher qualification, and I'm already renegotiating my pay and my position. I'm like, Uche, you've come again. You know how it is now. Uche, you've come again. Are you sure? He said, Emeka, just watch. I said, okay, let's watch. Uche went for a few months, came back. Not long after Uche's coming back, we had a general meeting. You know those meetings we have on Mondays? We had a general meeting, and the boss announced that, guys, Uche is now the head of department. I'm like, eh? He was just 2 positions ahead of me. He was a senior manager. I was an account executive. Uche comes back and is heading the whole department. He said, yes, Uche is the head of the department. You need to attend to him and all that and all that. I'm like, wow. He laughed. He said, Emeka, watch. He also told me that if the organization wasn't willing to increase his pay, that he was going to change jobs. Fast forward 6 months after he got an increase in pay and also position, Uche got another job with another agency. I'm like, Uche, what's going on? He said, Emeka, I told you, just watch. Uche left. I had to feel his shoes. They were really big shoes. But one thing I learned from Uche, and which Uche exposed me to, was Uche was able to show me and point me through the ropes. He taught me the business of the business. He taught me the work behind the work. And what is the work behind the work? The work behind the work simply is spending your time burning the midnight candles so that you can be good at what you do. Mastery is gotten by repetition. You don't get mastery by doing one thing just once. You get mastery by doing things over and over and over again. Do not be in a hurry to move to the next task. No, which is like, Emeka, no. We would leave the office at 5 and sometimes 6. Uche would spend 2 hours after we have left. What would he do? He would go through his work for the whole day, check the whole emails, check the brief one more time, reply the client, plan for that day, for the next day and the coming week. Uche was able to get into the mind of his customer, the client. One thing that I also realized from working with Uche that it is not enough for you to be skillful. You also need to understand these 4 P's. I call them the 4 P's of personal branding. They're actually 9, but with time, I would share as much as I can. But the very first P is purpose. Now, you may ask me, Emeka, what are you talking about? What does this have to do with me emerging? You cannot emerge in this world. Coach B so rightly called it VUCA. It means volatile, uncertain, volatile, unstable, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. I repeat, volatile, unstable, complex, and ambiguous. You cannot emerge in this VUCA world if you do not have the very first P, purpose. So what is purpose? Purpose simply is, like Simon Sinek would always say, in the golden circle, your why. Always starts with your why. So why are you here today? Why did you sign up for the Transformation Summit 2021? Do you truly want to emerge? Or is this one of those to-do lists that you have? Maybe I don't really have anything I'm doing at this time. Let me just come and spend time with these guys. Or I got the broadcast, I clicked on the link and I just want to be here. No. Even in coaching, as an athlete, a top performer, there is the purpose of training. In everything that you do, there is purpose attached to it. Uche understood his purpose. That is why he spent extra time after work developing himself, because he knew where he was going. Purpose is sweeter when there is a vision attached to it.
It's not enough for you to say, "Yeah, Emeka, I know my purpose," but what's the vision attached to that purpose? Do you know where you are going? Do you know why you do what you do? In knowing why you do what you do, guess what? The how you do what you do will change. Because when you grow in the understanding of the thing that you do, you gain mastery. Now, for so many of us, we were aware. I was aware of what Uche was doing, but I did not understand the steps and the strategies that he was applying. It took me years to understand. Part of the things Uche taught me, and I want to teach you today, he always said, "Emeka, be friends with the person that pays your money." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Be friends with the owner of the business. Be friends with the client. Be friends with the account manager or the financial person, the person that approves your invoice, the person that says they should pay you now or they will pay you later, the person that the procurement manager." He taught me that. I didn't understand that. It took me years as an entrepreneur. I now understand it now. I'm like, wow. So I was aware of it, but I did not understand it, because understanding is deep knowledge. Understanding is gotten by repeating things. Understanding births mastery. Understanding is when you have done it over and over again and you have become, your execution is now excellent. So many of us say, my value, I'm excellent. No. For you to be truly excellent, you have to give in your best. We know that what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary is simply the extra that they put. It's dedication, putting in the work. That's what separates them. Now you're wondering, like, okay, how does that apply to me? I can tell you this for free. Even to you in your business, in your life, in your relationship with your spouse, your husband, whoever it is, you need to know, very first thing, why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I really a good friend, boss, colleague? Am I dedicated to these things that I say that I'm doing? Am I interested in it, or am I committed to it? When you are interested in things, you would always give up when it's not convenient for you. But when you are committed, when you are committed because you know your why, no matter what happens to you, you will not stop. I can tell you for free, in putting together this summit, we were knocked down several times as a tribe. There were times that we were like, no, you said, I said, she said, what is going on? No, this is not getting, are we getting the approval? Who is speaking? What do we do? And we had our challenges. But guess what? Because we have a common goal as a tribe, a collective of coaches, leaders, speakers, experts with a common mission to change lives, empower them by providing them with the right skill set and mindset. Having that at the back of our mind, when the going was tough, we said, no, we were going to have it. And not just have it at the best possible way. Make it as beautiful and excellent as possible. Because that is the next P. It's part of our promise. What is your promise? Your promise simply is what you will do every day of the week and do it at that same level, irrespective of what happens. Even if 2 people come on your Instagram live, even if you have to speak to 1 person at the meeting, would you deliver it like there's 1 million people watching you? I learned that from Uche. Uche had that promise of always putting in the extra. So much so that he had so many recommendations. For everywhere he walked, Uche had so much amazing recommendation. And this recommendation, guess what happened to him? Uche got a job from Nigeria. He moved over to Ghana with his family. Being a regional manager. Imagine that. Why? He knew his purpose. He knew his promise. He will not do anything if he's not giving his best. If we look at your work, if we look at the things that you do, are you truly giving in your best? Or do you just want the day to go by? You can't wait for 6 o'clock so that you can leave the office. We would leave the office, Uche is there. We will get to the office, we'll find Uche there. We're like, Dude, you are married, you have kids, you have a family, you are the first to get here, you are the last to leave. What is going on? Uche had the promise. I will put in my best. I will be excellent in everything I do. I know my why. I know the purpose for why I am here. It is not about the money, but it's about my personal brand. Like Jeff Bezos will say, your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. So I don't care what you say about yourself. When you move outside that door and you shut it, what do they say about you when you're not there? Would they say this one, leave him, he never gets anything done? Would they say this one, look at the email, just look. I told you, look at the email. Look at it. Look at the email. You see? Typos. See? He's not articulating his thoughts very well. He's not getting anything done. Is that what they will say about you? But would they say that oh no, I can't do without it. He's such an amazing guy. Like Ola rightly said, what kind of person, what would your customers say about you? Would you say, let me send you a sample? And you said, no, don't worry about that. Because it is you, I will come for this conference. Because you are speaking, I will be here. Because you are involved, I will be here. That's your promise. Now, this promise is not complete if it is not tied to a personality. Now, this personality is not just about being sanguine, choleric, and all that. Yes, I understand that you can do your personality analysis. Please do that. But what I want to make you understand, in building your brand in this VUCA world, so that you will emerge, you need to know that my personality is tied to my values. Who am I? What do I stand for? Everybody throws around the word integrity. I'm somebody of integrity. But when they set a meeting, would you be there? Oh, I'm somebody that I'm passionate. I have empathy. Are you sure? I tell business owners this. Would your clients sigh or be upset with you when they get involved with you? What would be the experience? Even as a coach, what will be the experience when you coach me? You come for my workshop, you speak at my summit, you are part, I have experience. What would be my report of you? We hear you see it every day on social media. He's not who they say he is. He's a nice guy on screen, but when you meet him face to face, he's not the right person. Trust me, that is not who you want to be. Your personality is tied to your values, and that's the fourth P. Your third P, rather. Your personality tied to your values. Who are you? What do you hold so dearly? Like they say, if you stand for nothing, stand for something, you will fall for everything. That is why businesses are crumbling. That's why people, they question their integrity. That is why so many things are not going well in this VUCA world. What do you stand for? Can I close my eyes and say that I know you will be there. You will not fault me. If they say you are involved, I can go to bed. It's fine. It's done. It's dusted. You are good. Will they say that about you? Or is it going to be another tale of, let's manage him. Let's manage her. I can tell you this for free. This is not the time for being managed. This is the time for you to excel. You can't afford to be a pity party of anybody. You can't afford to be that. No. It's either we're excelling or we're excelling. There is no other option. It's either we are growing, we're emerging, we're growing exponentially, or we are not growing. It's growth or growth. There is no other option. That is why you are here. We're growing or we're growing. We're excelling or we're excelling. There's no option. I'm sure you're wondering, what is he saying? Your brand is everything that you do. Your personal brand ties to the information that you consume, the people that you speak with. Even the music you listen to is a reflection of your brand. Why do you like this brand over the other? It's you. It's not the brand, it is you. Why? Because the brand reminds you of you. Your favorite soft drink reminds you of you. When you watch that ad on TV, it reminds you of you. There is something that ad is speaking. It's speaking to you, the inside of you. What you call yourself, what you say, this is who I am. I'm a champion. I would emerge. This is who they say I am. Not just what they say, but who I really am. That ad speaks to me. That song speaks to me. It moves me in a different way. Like the song of Arasta, I'm feeling vibes on vibes. They know if it kill my vibe. Why do people connect to that song? Because you have been troubled so many times. So many people have doubted you. In the place of work, it's like they're playing games with you. You are applied, but you're not getting the promotion you want. You're struggling, you're working so hard, and it's like every time you move forward, it's like you're moving 2 steps back. Things are not working in your favor. Are you truly feeling vibes on vibes? Or you want to now start feeling vibes on vibes? Remember the 3rd P, your personality. Those are your values. Who are you? What you hold dearly. I move over to the 4th P. The 4th P is positioning. How do you position yourself? Positioning is very, very important. How do you position yourself? It is good for you to know that even the best footballers, you need to positioning simply is how you want people to see you, where you want to be, how you want to be seen, who do you associate with. This program has been set aside just for you so that you can position yourself in life, in business, in career. All these things are important for you. It's set aside just for you. It's for you to understand that I'm not just going to be one of the number. I am going to be the number. I'm going to be the number. I'm going to position myself. I'm going to win. I know my purpose. I know my promise. I know my personality, my values. And it is time for me to position myself. I will say this. No matter what they do, like I always say, it is not how much you know, it's how much you show. See this. They talk about you at the office and they are saying so many things about you. And it's like, why are you here again? Another conference, another summit. You're buying a book. You're reading. You're going for personal development. You want to join the transformation tribe. What are you doing? And you keep pouring into your cup. What they do not know is, it is not how much you know, it is how much you show. You are the bottom. Each time you filled in that cup, you are coming to the top. They did not know that they couldn't kill your vibe. Because in this summit, you've heard speakers, you've heard leaders, you heard experts that have helped you, giving you strategies so that you will emerge. It is your time to emerge. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Transformation Summit 2021, and I can guarantee you that you will emerge at the end of this summit. We're going on a short break, and when we come back, guys, we have our coach, our mentor, Jimi Tewe, and Jimi Tewe will be breaking it down for us. So sit back, relax. You're watching the Transformation Summit 2021.
Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021. Jimi Tewe. Jimi Tewe is a transformational specialist with deep experience, guided as a consultant and coach for several individuals and organizations across various industries. Jimi is an international speaker whose transformational inventions have helped thousands of people across 30 countries. With his early consulting background working for companies such as Accenture, Jimi can deliver practical insight that he has used to help his clients get clear results. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jimi Tewe.
Hello, everybody, and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. It's really my honor to be here this evening. You know, I was telling somebody jokingly that, I'm really privileged, though. There's a set of people who considered me worthy to have me to be part of their program, and I want to say well done to the team for putting this together. And I don't know, maybe somebody there should just put out a word. How has this experience been for you, so far? I mean, even just the moments I've been part of it, it's just been great. So I'm looking at the comment section. I want to see what you think about the conference so far. Has it been amazing for you? I'm actually looking at the comment section. Let me know about that this evening, okay? Now, I know that I heard, Emeka speaking about, I'm going to break it down. I mean, how much more do I want to break it down? Something that's already broken into pieces, all right? Guys, you have done amazing. It's been really, really phenomenal. And I'm just going to do what I believe is my own assignment. So I'm saying the words. Thank you, Evan. Evan says impactful. Great. Yeah, awesome from Bukola. Who else is speaking there? It's been impactful. Thank you, Juliet. All right. Boso, I hope I pronounced that well. Welcome, Coach. Wonderful experience for me. It's more than amazing. Beautiful. All right. Thank you. Keep dropping the comments and all that. So well done, guys. It's been great. Now, my own assignment is pretty simple. All right. What I'm going to be doing this evening is I just want to challenge you. Listen to me. Over the last maybe 20 years or so, I've been doing this, in different ways. Obviously not online like we're doing it right now. But I want to say to you that the common trend is that less than 10% actually get any benefit out of this experience. I'll tell you that up front. I think that if you allow me, tomorrow is Sunday, so I can still pull from the Bible. Even Jesus said, as powerful as the word of God is, that some fell by the wayside, some just a few produced 30, 60, and even 100-fold, meaning that even in the space of the ones that produce results, some did not produce 100%. And my question is, what category are you going to fall? Are you going to be, wow, I attended this great conference this weekend? Listen to me, the program was organized not just because that they don't have anything to do, not just because they want to speak. The program was actually organized for you to emerge. The value that we expect out of this is emergence. And I'll tell you one of the key things we're expecting is that not too long from now, we have people that are saying, look, I attended this conference and this is the result that came out of it. Are we together? And so what I want to share very quickly as we begin to wrap this up this evening is to begin to talk about the kind of things that can actually help you post this experience. Because trust me, whenever I do a workshop or a training, I tell people that the real workshop starts after the workshop. That is when you are now applying what you have learned. And so what I want to just share, just a few things very quickly, are the things that I found actually have helped me, help many others that will also help you to emerge at the end of the day. The first thing I want to say is this, that you see what has happened to you is a lot of inspiration, a lot of information, a lot of education. Education in the sense that there are things you did not know that now you know. There's some things you knew before, but so some reason you put them aside. And so there's an education or relearning or re-education that is going on in that space. But more importantly, it's also the inspiration. You are in the energy zone, that's what we call it, where you feel like doing it. But trust me, the moment this conference ends, the energy begins to ebb. Just like any time that anybody takes a piece of coal and moves it away from the fire, the moment you move it away from that experience, immediately it begins to get cold. The same thing is going to happen to you, except you have a way to keep your fire going. And that's what I want to talk about, because when it comes to transformation, which this is about, transformation is a process. There are elements that lead to transformation, and that's just what I just wanted to add before we leave tonight. The first thing that I think has been birthed is a desire for transformation. The fact about it is that people don't just transform by mistake, all right? You can change negatively, positively, but transformation is something where, we're talking about positive transformation, it's a product of intentional inflection. That's something that I actually teach. Intentional inflection. I teach about the concept of, having exponential results. And I say that, look, if you ever go on Google and type exponential, you see that the graph is rising, but at some point there's this upturn. At that point of inflection, the key thing to do is to study it. And what I've done is I've studied it, and I've found out there are a few things that are there. First thing is this, that out of all you have learned, what is relevant to you at this moment, you have to be able to dimension it. In a conference like this, you're going to hear, you've heard from so many speakers, Emeka, Coach BSO, everybody, and all that. But let me say this to you. There is a part of the conference that resonated with you. I tell people that resonance is a very powerful force in physics, because the key thing about resonance is that you have a string that is vibrating. And if you bring a steel string close to it, after a while, the two of them begin to vibrate at the same frequency. Therefore, it's not everything you heard that actually can cause vibration. It is the one that brought resonance that can bring transformation. So what I tell people, sit down and look back. In fact, whenever you go through a conference like this, you actually should take log. It's not writing all the quotes of everything that they said. It is what resonated with you. The reason why it resonated with you is because it finds relevance with you, particularly either in this season or in the season you are about to birth. So take those areas, take those dimensions. The next thing you want to do is that now, looking beyond the education, what are the instructions that come along with that? Because listen to me, every change is a product of deliberate and sometimes unintentional, but most times intentional action. You have to be deliberate about it. In other words, your life will remain the same if you continue doing the same things you have been doing prior to this conference. It might just be one thing. It might even be one thing you are doing. You just need to do a lot more seriously, a lot more consistently. I tell people that, look, whenever you attend a conference like this, you don't need to do everything. There's just a few things you need to do. Whenever I attend conferences, I look out for that 1, 2, maximum 3 things that I'm going to incorporate into my life. I realize that as simple as it is, just incorporating that into my life, that there is, and I stay consistent with it, it's just a matter of time before I begin to see the effect of it. So the first thing is there that you want to be able to see what areas resonated with you. Sit down and you're able to identify that. The next thing you want to do is that there must be a plan. Listen to me. Every great thing that exists and is sustainable, there was a plan behind it. All right? I mean, even the concept of a forest came because there's a plan that inside the seed is another seed. It drops, then it begins to grow again. Listen to me. The concept of sustainability is something that you need to understand. And I'll say to you that in terms of change and transformation, sustainability is critical. It's like the person that goes to the gym, and they want to do everything. They want to use every equipment, in the first 3 days. Usually by the 4th day, they are like a corpse. They are like on a stretcher. The reason why is because they are not developing sustainably. But if they went to the gym and they just did a little here, a little there, and they kept doing that consistently, before you know, they are carrying all the weights in the gym. So the same thing also, you're not going to say to yourself, tomorrow I'm going to read 17 books. That's a waste of time. You and I know you don't have time to do that. So what is that sustainable plan you are going to implement? Look, listen to me. It is better to do little over a period of time than to do much once. Usually when you do that, it's like, people that say they want to lose weight or stuff like that, then they go on this drastic diet and then they lose weight. Most times they come back to that weight because the thing that caused the weight has not been eliminated. It is the bad habit of eating late, eating large calories and all those kind of things. And that's why it's better to do little over a period of time. So I always challenge myself. What is that one thing I'm going to introduce into my schedule, into my routine, into my regime that eventually will lead to transformation? So you need to have a plan where that's concerned. The third thing I'm going to say to you, listen to me, is that there must be accountability. Listen to me. It is always easier to continue with the life you currently have. It is tough to step into the next level you want. Never forget that. But I know that, and so I know that it's the same thing when you say you want to go to the gym, and I use these analogies because you can relate to them and they're easy to know. It's the fact that, look, you must have, I'm struggling right now. I'm being honest with you. I'm struggling. I have my building where I am in America. We have a gym downstairs and all that, but I'm looking for a gym body because I think that it actually works. I'm telling you. And the same thing also is that in this program, you can have gym buddies from other participants or somebody else that you will go and sit and you can watch the post-conference. I hope that they're selling this, by the way, post-conference team. Don't forget that, all right? So, and you're able to have a plan and you're not able to sit and say, how often are we going to meet? Twice a week. How are you doing with regards to this? Encouraging each other. What are we going to do? Listen to me. Whenever you begin to do anything intentionally, it moves from your conscious mind to your subconscious. It's a programming system that causes you to begin to operate differently, and ultimately your outcomes will not be different. All right. So I'll tell you that you need an accountability partner, but you need another kind of partner. You need an inspiration partner. Listen to me. I spent a significant part of this my last week with somebody who is literally like a billionaire. And in my conversations with him, we've had cause to talk almost every single day this week and spend time. I saw one of his projects today. It blew my mind. You know what's happening to me? I'm not the same again. It's not my accountability partner. We don't say, have you done, have you not done? No, he's my inspiration partner. I spend time with him. I live thinking bigger versions of the current thoughts that I have. And listen to me, inspiration. I know they say to you that inspiration is aspire to perspire. Guess what? It's true. You need to aspire to perspire, if not you expire. Are you together? But the key is that you must use inspiration with a plan. Inspiration without a plan will get you started, but will never get you to finish. Having a plan without inspiration can actually be very fearful, or you might never start at all, or obviously you will not achieve the kind of things you want to achieve. So I want to challenge you. Listen to me. And there are many things I can say. But when, they told me, they want me to come, they want to speak and all that. And I'm like, these are great speakers. Go and check these people. Mark my words. The people on this, conference, I've watched, I will just sleep in. I don't comment. I've been seen. And I'm like, wow. There's so much that they're going to release. So I want you to take what they have put together. Now, what I provided is a framework for sustainable transformation, and now begin to implement them. That is the critical thing. I would advise, one thing I also do is that I actually usually advise that you get the tape or the CD or something, a recording, and pay for it. All right. The general rule is that when people pay, they pay attention. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about, okay? And all that. So please, they're simple. Look, life is not complex. I'm telling you, if you ever sit down with people that are doing great stuff, if you are able to understand simply what they're doing, you are able to replicate it. Complexity is the food of fools. I'm telling you, because they are enjoying the fact that it's complex. That professor that comes to your class and it's so complex, nobody understands them. It's at the exam, we see everybody failing. That's a fool. I'm sorry, putting it that way, but that's reality. Simplicity is the language of champions. So the things you have learned today, and from yesterday, I want you to take them and I want you to use them. Listen to me. I'll say it jokingly, but I'm going to say it seriously now. If you come to this program and your life does not change, and they're going to do emerge next year, and you do not emerge, I'll tell them to bounce you. We'll have one department where they will be looking. Thank God that we can use YouTube to check you and all that. We'll see your name. We'll just bounce you. You better go and change your name. That's the only thing, because our job is not to get you excited. Our job is to get you transformed. Our job is to get you to emerge. Listen to me. The final thing I'm going to say, why must you emerge? Listen to me. There's always two versions of life you can live. The current life you are living, or the one that is at the end of your dreams. The one that's at the end of your fears. The one that's at the end of your desires. Listen to me. That version of life inspires more people. And we need a lot more right inspiration now. People complain and say to me, oh, this younger generation, they are this, they are that. I'm like, you can't blame them. They don't see it's what they are seeing, they're responding to. If they see things, people doing what is wrong, and they seem to be prospering, they're going to follow that. So the same thing also, you have to emerge so that you can become the new reference point for what is right. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to emerge. They're much more than ever before. The world has been recalibrated to support your emergence. If you decide to be lazy about that, if you decide not to be intentional about that, I'm telling you, you are going to regret it, because that excuse you are giving, oh, Jimmy, the reason why I cannot do it, the reason why is this. I tell you that excuses are a bunch. It doesn't. I'm sure somebody is even going to package excuses and put them on the shelf on Amazon very soon. Your excuse, I don't get moved by excuses, because your excuse you out of it at the end of the day. Listen to me. Excuses are the building blocks of regret. Excuse today, excuse tomorrow. One day you will regret it. That is the way that life is. But I know you are not going to regret it. I know you are going to emerge. I think you are going to take it seriously. So before I go today, let me now, based on what I've said, what is the one thing that, now this is a funny thing. I've said about 4 things you need to do and all those kind of things. Now, the key thing is that which one do you struggle with the most? I want to see. I want you to see, type in the comment section, which area do you struggle with? Is it the accountability? Is it the inspirational partner? Is it the plan? Is it even the education? Let me know which part you're going to work on. Let me know which part you're going to work on. And then I'm going to out of your face. Trust me, I have nothing to add to what these guys have done. I have nothing to add. All right. So tell me. What is that one thing you are going to work on? Out of the 4-level model that I just shared with you, what is that one area you're going to work on? I'm waiting, looking at the comment section excitedly, because you're about to, yeah, thank you, says the implementation part. Thank you, Ola. All right. Any other person, tell me what accountability partner, inspirational partner, all right, the business. I had someone talk about the business. You have to be a business person. Anything you do, I'm telling the team again, this thing is not free. You must sell it. Sell the truth. All right, and let the devil be ashamed. Accountability partner, planning, consistency, and all that. So, guys, I have shared my own little bit. I hope it's helped you. And till when I come, hopefully, they will consider me for the next emerge. If I emerge myself, and that's the thing that is there. The great people that emerge are the ones they call. If you don't emerge, they'll just leave you alone. Are we together? On that note, let me stop. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless you.
Yes, thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much, Mentor. We are truly grateful for this opportunity that you have given us. One, for honoring our invitation, and two, and most importantly, for putting this together. My bishop would always say, where there is no vision, the people perish, and where there is no people, the vision dies. So in other words, if there was no personal public speaking mentoring program, we will not be here today. So, sir, thank you so much for the opportunity that you have given us. We are truly, truly grateful. But, sir, before you go, you know that you are the big boss. You are the transformation specialist. You need to give us one more bullet, one shot. Actually, just give us one more shot.
I'm not in the business of shooting, please. I'm not in that business. But I mean, listen to me. I think that the biggest thing for me is the concept of global now. I mean, think about it now. I think we have people that are even not in Nigeria that are part of this. And I tell you that the platform for global is the internet. Look at it. We're having a conference right now. I'm somewhere in the world. Everybody's somewhere in the world, and we're having an experience. So experiences have transcended geography right now. Yeah. And so what that means is this, that there are experiences you can curate in any space you are and leverage the internet. Listen to me. Nobody has an excuse. Somebody said, well, I go to work, I come back by 9 o'clock and all that. Today, you can actually host a conference by 12 midnight in Nigeria, and somebody in America is watching at 6 p.m. Yeah. So what is your excuse? Yeah. It is time to do global, all right? Please don't ever be, oh, Jimi Tewe is doing this, is doing that. What I'm doing is tiny compared to what I can do. So I want to challenge you also, do your own bit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much. So, guys, you heard it from the coach himself. There is no time for you for excuses. You need to move and move fast. Another thing that we failed to mention, or I want to mention now, is there is a public speaking mentoring program. This is cohort 1. There definitely will be other cohorts. If you see yourself, I talked about vision. Vision helps you plan, because when you see yourself as going global, you know that public speaking are part of the skill set that you need to go global. I encourage you, join the Jimi Tewe public speaking mentoring program. And trust me, you would have such a platform like this to share your thoughts and your skill set with the world. Coach, thank you once again for the platform.
Thank you too.
Thank you for your time. We look forward to having this again, and we know that we will see you in the group.
Definitely. All right. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye. Bye, Coach. So, guys, yes, you are still watching the Transformation Summit 2021. I still remain Emeka Ebeniro, aka Fire Emeka. We want to thank our coach, our mentor. We call him the big boss, Jimi Tewe, for his time, for sharing, his heart, just bringing it, make it simple for you to understand. Guys, we're going on a short break. This is not the end of the summit. Relax. Don't be in a hurry. We're going on a short break. When we come back, we'll be taking all your questions. The speakers are still backstage. We'll be taking all your questions. Wow.
Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021. Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us so far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are just going to try to take your questions. If you have any questions, please drop the questions for us, and we would be happy to take them. I'm just going to go through to see some of the questions we have had before. 1 second. Okay, so there's a question for Seyi. For Seyi, the question is, how do I feel, okay, let me just look at the question again. So this person says, I really, okay, what do you really mean by globalization? I didn't really get the definition. That's what this person is saying. I didn't really get the definition of globalization. So does it mean I have to be, you know, I'm guessing this person is trying to say that, does it mean that they have to be maybe, if they travel abroad, can they still be local? Do you understand? So if Seyi can just take that question, Seyi is going to come up now, and he would. And I think that's a valid question, because someone earlier said that they don't. It was their first time of hearing the word localization. I think I saw someone who made that comment. So this person says, "What do you mean by localization?" So for me, I was actually thinking, does it mean if I travel abroad, I'm not pursuing localization again? So what does that really mean?
Okay, just to give some more clarity to the globalization that I was talking about. So what that means is wherever you are, so whether you're in Nigeria, you're in Ghana, you're in South Africa, wherever you are presently is your locality. Now, ideally, your influence will mostly affect the people in your locality. But when I begin to have influence, now, like I said, in my locality, I'm not doing anything outside my locality. I'm just running my business, I'm doing everything, I'm doing whatever it is in my locality. But those that are influenced by what I'm doing there, maybe those that are patronizing my services and all of that, are not from my locality, they're from the international community. Probably even 80% of them. So, for example, I'm living in Joburg in South Africa, but 80% of those that patronize my services don't even live in South Africa. That is localization. I have not taken my services from South Africa to Russia, for example, but those in Russia have come to South Africa to look for me. That is localization. And one way to help us achieve that very quickly, Mr. Edidom talked about it yesterday. Technology. Mr. Daniel talked about it as well. Technology. So I can sit down in my room and begin to affect generations world over. That is localization.
Wow. Thank you so much for that deep response. So I have another question for you, actually. It says, and it's from I'm so sorry if I'm not getting your name correctly. It's from Usanga. And it says, can church have a local influence?
Oh, it says, can the church have a local influence? Fantastic question. And the answer is yes. Now, a church is situated in a local environment as well. I've seen churches that are situated, some of us have experienced certain churches in the world, even though we've never been there. We've listened to their music, we've listened to their pastors preach and all of that, but we have never been there. They have never been to your locality to set up a branch of their church, but you know the church, you know their service times, you listen to their messages. That is globalization, because all they are doing is staying in their locality, doing what they are doing in their locality, but the global perspective, the global people are coming to seek for them in that environment. So yes, a church can achieve globalization.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that response. So the next question is actually for Omo, and it says, how do I get a mentor who will be committed to model a path to success for me? Omo, you're muted. Could you please unmute?
Oh, sorry about that. Good evening, guys, and thank you for the impactful conference so far. So with the question of how do I get a mentor who will be committed to model a path to success for me, tool system, I reckon you were here yesterday, so I'm sure you remember me talking about research. Now in your course, during your research course, it is very, very important that you would research people who have gone ahead of you concerning the ideas that you have and the path that you want to tow. You should look for people who have already told that path. And with the pool of knowledge that you have in front of you, you will be able to find at least one person that you think you would be able to work with. Now, it is not up to, yes, the mentor would have work to do with you, but the commitment actually starts from your own side. Let's not forget that you're developing yourself. You are on a path to transformation. So the commitment actually starts with you. So when you do your research and you find that mentor that you think that you can work with, remember you have to put in the commitment. Go there with the mentality that you are going to serve, you are going to learn, you are going to build and develop yourself. So it is a learning process for you. So the commitment is actually from your own part, but do your research first. And like I said, you will definitely find at least one person who has told that part. And then from that, you can decide who you think you can work with. So
thank you. Thank you so much for that. I think I heard a phrase somewhere, and the person said, when you're looking for a mentor, don't be a tormentor. Don't be a tormentor.
That's right.
To your mentor.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
To add value to the person. I also have a personal experience I can quickly share where, someone said that someone introduced me to a mentor, a very, top speaker in Nigeria. And it was not difficult to establish that relationship. They had introduced us. So I didn't now know what to do. So what I did was I sent him a message to say, sir, I know you speak a lot. If you have any speaking engagements that I can, develop slides for, these are the things I can do. So I actually listed all the things I can do. I said I can do speech writing, I can develop slides, I can do all of these things. And guess what? He responded to me to say that he was going to be doing a keynote speech at somewhere in, a few weeks from that day. And he said, if you would like to help me with that, that would be very, very nice. And then I went ahead to, write the speech for him. We worked on it together. And that was the beginning of a fantastic mentor-mentee relationship. That's just to buttress the point that you made, that you have to seek to add value to your mentor. You can't just be waiting for them to be committed to you and be calling you and be saying, oh, yeah, let's do this. Or you're the one who should be following up.
That's
so
right.
That you can see
and you were even going to serve.
Transformation Summit 2020.
You were ready to serve. You had gone there with the mentor. You literally were going there to volunteer for him. Anyway. And so that's another. I talked about volunteering yesterday. So that is another avenue. If you feel that, you've researched and all the people that you think that have told that part, they are either too high up there for you to get in touch with and all that, you can tell the part of volunteering. And it brings you close to people. You can start to build relationships. I think it's very interesting because all the speakers have been in sync with everything that they've been saying, from relationships to to impact and all that. So do your research, find out what works for you. You have so much tips already at your fingertips. So you pick what works for you.
Thanks, Omo. Thank you so much for that. So I can see two more questions here. The first one is, how do I register for the Jimi Tewe public speaking platform? So what you can do is to join the Telegram group. So we'll provide the information or when the next, cohort is going to start. So that's for that. The second question is, how do I saw a question there. Okay, how best do I advertise and increase sales? So I'm guessing Daniel might be the best person.
Yeah.
Yes, best person to answer this question. Is Daniel available to answer the question, to take the question? Daniel? Okay, so I'm just going to look through the other questions while we are waiting for Daniel. The other question is, can someone thrive or emerge in an organization that the head or some key members don't share the same values personally with you? I think I can respond to that question. You might not like my response, but I will respond to that question. I am extremely passionate about personal values. So I really would not, in fact, one of the reasons I left my last job was that, the activities were beginning to go against my personal values, right? So honestly, I don't think you have any business being in an organization where, that you don't share the same values with. However, I do acknowledge that right now it's really tough in Nigeria and you may have to, ride the tide. Right. So what I would say is not allow yourself, as long as it's not a criminal activity. So no matter how bad Nigeria is, I would not encourage you to be engaged in any form of criminal activity. So if it's just something around, maybe not something that you don't agree with, or something just maybe moral standards, maybe not moral, whatever it is, right? You can ride the tide while you try to develop yourself on the side. And like we have been sharing from yesterday, take advantage of technology, those values that you have, those things that you have to offer, those things inside of you, the strengths that you have, begin to share on social media, begin to showcase yourself, begin to showcase your skills, right? And, take advantage of things like digital marketing, have your offer clear. If you can watch the day one of the summit again, watch through what Daniel shared yesterday and develop your offer and begin to share something. From there, you would have the economic, you'll be able to develop the economic strength to leave your organization and maybe focus on yourself. While you're doing that, you can also be looking for other jobs, and things like that. So emerging is not dependent on your organization. It's your job, right? It's your job. If your organization is not working for you, develop an exit plan and implement it. That's the important thing, right? So I think we are done with the questions, and thank you so much for Usanga. I'm sorry if I'm murdering your name, for all of the questions. So yes,
that's
you.
fine.
Emeka, where are you?
Yes, I'm right here. That is
Okay.
fine. No, well done. Ola, you have done a fantastic job. And still on that question, I would like to give my own view on it, talking about how, what you need to do, how you can thrive in an organization that has, they don't have the same value as you are. Like I said, talking about the 4 P's, one of the P is personality, and that speaks mostly about your value. Ola has laid the foundation, and this is what I would add to it. Know who you truly are. I repeat, know who you truly are, because like Shakespeare and all the philosophers said, be to thyself be true. You cannot fully perform, you cannot fully emerge if there is no alignment between your mind, your body, and your emotion. If there is a struggle between any of these 3 parts of you, you can't fully perform. What am I saying? You go to work every day and you know that your body is struggling, or your mind is struggling, or you don't feel like it. Something is wrong. And from experience, I will tell you my own story. From experience, when you feel that way, it's one of 2 things. It's either you are not performing at the level because you're overwhelmed by some things happen to you personally, which is not the office. It could be at home. It could be your finance. Or you have outgrown that organization. And there is nothing outgrowing an organization. Because like I said earlier, it's all about your vision. So if you work in a place and you know that, okay, it is time for me to move to the next level, the next chapter of my life, then you go ahead and you move. But make sure it's in line
with those things I've mentioned, your purpose, your promise, your personality, and you position yourself, you realize that those that get the best jobs in the world don't even write application. Why? Because they are properly positioned.
Yeah.
They have proven to the person that is recommending them that they have the right personality, they deliver on their promise, and their purpose is clear. I hope I've been able to help you with your question. And if I have, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much, Ola, for helping us with this. Guys, you're still...
quickly, Emeka, there was a question we didn't address. If you can quickly address that. How best to advertise and increase sales? I know you have some marketing expertise, so you can answer that question.
Okay, yes, I would love to. Let's see if we can get that question on the screen. But this is what I would say. Let your objective drive your approach. I repeat, let your objective determine your approach. What do I mean? If you're advertising to top CEOs, there is no point in trying to look for them. Most of them are not on Facebook. If you're looking for procurement managers, you might not find them on Facebook. You'll find them on LinkedIn. You might find some of them on Twitter. You might find some on Instagram, but most likely you find them on LinkedIn, because that is where all the professionals, that is the hub for professionals. So let your objective direct your approach. But if you're looking for people that would flood your offline store, maybe you have a boutique and all that, then why not go to Facebook, make a whole lot of noise, put dancers in front of the place, let everybody on the streets know that because you just opened a new store. Use Google Ads so that people we're using the right keywords, so that once they search, and use the right geolocation, so that once they search for anything, your brand or service would pop up. But like I said earlier, let your objective direct or determine your approach. So there is no one size fits all. Let the objective determine the approach. If we're having an entertainment event and all that, let the objective. If we want to have a gathering of CEOs, let that also determine it. So I hope that has helped you. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments.
Fantastic response. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ola. Guys, you are still on to the Transformation Summit 2021. It has been explosive. We've had the privilege of our coach and mentor, Jimi Tewe, my darling sister, Ola, and customer experience experts are shared with us, taking some of your questions and also shared with us how you can use customer experience to grow your business. My very amazing brother, the educator, Seyi Agbede, has talked so much. He gave us, a lecture, giving us 9 key points, going into the C's and some other things, and also explaining the M's of increasing your finance, which is making money, managing money, and multiplying money. And my very self, I shared how you can use the 4 P's of personal branding and mostly positioning yourself to be globally relevant. And to wrap it all up, Jimi Tewe, our coach and mentor, broke it down, and he has instructed you to go ahead and practice, if not 1, but 2 or 3 things that you have learned from this conference. I would like to encourage you. Please practice everything that you have learned. This is not the vote of thanks. I'm not taking the vote of thanks, but I just want to encourage you. And before we go into the next thing, which is the vote of thanks, and also announcements and any other thing that I would like to share with you, we'll be going on a short break. And when we come back, guys, we'll have the vote of thanks. We'll also share with you some important information. One of it is, make sure you follow all the speakers. Their names are lined up, on the screen, and also you will get that in the Telegram group. We're going on this short break. When we come back, I'll have my brother Edidion Effiong address us with the vote of thanks.
Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021.
Wow, 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 wow. I can't believe we are at the end of this summit. My heart is so full that we've been able to do this. I am grateful to God for making this happen, grateful to our mentor who not only has provided the platform but even honored our summit. We say thank you, Mr. Jimi Tewe. My colleagues, my fellow tribesmen that I call them from the transformation tribe. You brought it all on, so much value in a very short time. But even more importantly, each and every one of you that spared your time. Wonderful, wonderful to have you for 2 days. And there is what I want to say. If you have missed any part of it, or even if you need clarity around anything, please go back and watch the recordings, and also follow us on our social media channels. Go into the Telegram group. The link has been shared repeatedly because there is so much more coming from the transformation tribe you cannot believe. So we want you to be a part of that. But even more importantly, we don't just want you to be transformed, we want you to become transformers as you emerge, because there are people that are waiting on you to emerge, and their emergence depends on yours. And finally, and most importantly, please put at least a few of the things you've learned into practice. The proof of learning. You've gotten so much knowledge, I believe, but knowledge on its own is not enough. Knowledge, they say, is power, but I tell you, uh, 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 the real power is in know-how, and know-how comes from practice. I cannot say this enough. Go ahead and practice what you have learned here. If you run into any challenges, the Telegram group is there. Just pop your question in there, and somebody is going to attend to you. And at this point, I'd like to say once again, thank you for being a part of this, and for Transformation Summit 2021. It is my pleasure to bring it to a wrap. God bless you. Have a great weekend, and have a wonderful year ahead. Don't forget to join us on the Telegram group and our social media channels. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Edith Young. Before we go, we have a few words from Omar. Sorry, from Omar. I was just so excited from Omar. So Omar, please just tell us what you have for us so we can wrap it up.
Okay, to be honest, there's really not much to add. It's just that, like Edidion said, everything that you have heard over the past 2 days, it will be very, very good to put into practice. Like I said yesterday, wishful thinking without actions, it's not going to take you anywhere. So it's interesting because this morning, before I went out for grocery shopping, I was thinking, and I was saying to myself, oh, I don't want this summit to be like, them church programs where, after the church program, you ask them, oh, how was the program? How was the conference? You'll be like, it was powerful. And then you ask them, okay, what was powerful about it? And they're staring at you like, okay, so please let this not be like one of them, like our boss has said, like JT said, let this not be like one of them that, it was powerful, but no, you still have, like we said yesterday, and we still keep saying today, it's never too late. Yeah. Age shouldn't be a barrier. Yeah. Distance, your location shouldn't be a barrier. Nothing should actually be a barrier. The only thing stopping you from emerging and transforming is you. The moment you take practical and intentional steps to develop yourself, trust me, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. So please follow us on all our social media platforms. We will be sending out emails. Please watch out for them. Look out for the emails. Join the Telegram group. The link is there on the YouTube channel. Join and watch out. Information will be coming to you every now and again, and we hope that you will make practical use of these information. So on behalf of the Transformers Tribe, this is me signing out.
Yes, thank you so much, Omar. Thank you, guys. It has been an amazing conference. I hope you found this of great value. It has been worth your time. Let us know. Join the Telegram group. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Guys, thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for being here.
I need to break this down. I need to make you understand. Nothing happens until you happen. I repeat, nothing happens until you happen. And remember, there are so many lives out there waiting for you to emerge. I repeat, there are so many lives out there waiting for you to emerge. Like I always say, it is not how much you know, it is how much you show. This is you, and the world is waiting for you to zoom off. So guys, thank you for the opportunity. We look forward to seeing you in the Telegram group. Receive our emails with open arms because we have a lot in stock for you. The world is waiting for you to emerge. Once, twice, and a million times, we say thank you for being part of this journey. We love you, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Transformation Summit 2021. Emerge. Strategies for exponential growth in life, business, and career. Transformation Summit 2021.